Hello and welcome to the 2002-2003 season review. And it's open day at the Britannia, and thousands of fans took the opportunity to see new manager Steve Cotterill put the players through their paces and have a behind-the-scenes tour of the stadium. The manager said he wouldn't be asking his players to do anything in training that he wasn't capable of doing himself, and you could be forgiven for thinking that he'd introduced a new signing on the quiet. It's quite easy to get carried away with all the excitement of the day. There was the playoff trophy to get your hands on, the players to meet and greet, and the dressing room to explore. But Stoke fans were keeping their feet firmly on the ground.
First season, if we could just stay in there, stay in the first division and build on that from after this season, we don't expect to go up this season probably, but to stabilise the club and hopefully build from there in the future.
If we can stabilise in the first division, that'll be good enough for me.
If we finish mid-table, I'll be happy with that, with the first season back. I think it's going to be a tough season. There's some good teams in there.
If we stay up this season, then build for next season.
As long as we survive and consolidate in the first division, then hopefully keep our fingers crossed.
Mid-table, that'll do me. Safety.
So maybe a little too nostalgic, but I mean Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Leeds. We've been there, we've beaten them all, and they've rocked us. We're going back in the right direction, and we're going to do it all again.
Stoke began their return to Division 1 without the services of Wayne Thomas, and new signing Chris Greenacre would not see action until late October after suffering an ankle injury in the pre-season friendlies. 1 win, 2 draws and 3 defeats opened Stoke's account. The average age of the team was only 23 for Stoke's visit to Sheffield Wednesday. And although goalless, it gave the 5,000 Potteries contingent a first look at 18-year-old Chris Commons, who was making his league debut. On 36 minutes, his deflected shot crashed off the crossbar. With 10 minutes to go, Wilson replaced Gudjonsson and his deep cross was heading for Iwelumo until he appeared to be grounded by Quinn. At least he had the backing of 5,000 like-minded Stoke City supporters. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Stoke City 0. We did get to see a goal when Leicester visited the Britannia, but unfortunately it wasn't from Stoke.
Brian Dean. Dickoff making moves ahead of him. Scowcroft and Isidore in the box, and it might just reach Scowcroft, who's good in the air, and he proves it. And Leicester City take an early lead at the Britannia Stadium through James Scowcroft. Frank Sinclair stops Leicester in their tracks. Clark delivers though. Oh, and Gudjonsson coming in. That full stretch, nearly, but not quite.
Well, I said about the long balls, but there's nothing wrong with putting in a quality cross. It's a poor clearance from Sinclair. And when the cross comes in, Rodgers just leaves it. Gudjonsson gets in. I think he really should have hit the target there.
5 minutes of added on time, you know. Stoke delighted at seeing that. Here's Lewis Neal. Here is Commons. Can't believe he hasn't got Stokes man of the match award indeed. Ooh, and maybe a chance here. Oh, and it's gone into the side netting from Neil. That should have been it, perhaps, for Stoke.
Great ball again here. Good turn from Commons. The ball's played in there. The shot comes in from, I think it's Lewis Neal, isn't it?
Goals and the first Stoke win of the season marked the game against Bradford, and Andy Cook took the visitors into the pantomime season after only 4 minutes. He's behind you. I seem to remember at the time the overwhelming sympathy of the home crowd for keeper Walsh. Stoke was still without Thomas, and Handyside was also absent with tonsillitis, so Peter Martinson got his chance to shine, and shine he did after 33 minutes as he finished off a Commons free kick to make it 2 for the Potters. Bradford weren't about to roll over, but it was Ward who was in need of some sympathy this time. And to make matters worse, he was then adjudged to be offside, and so cancel out Cadamarteri's effort. In the 90th minute, Gray's goal set the nerves jangling, but the young Stoke side, which saw Brian Wilson's first league start, claimed the win. Stoke City 2, Bradford 1. A cracker of a game at Deepdale, but it would end in heartbreak for the Potters. This was no slow burner as Cutler saw action after only 3 minutes to foil Fuller. Commons was continuing to thrill and earned a penalty courtesy of Luchetti. Clark stepped up and slotted home, but O'Connor was penalised for encroaching, and Clark had to do it all again. The Preston keeper was obviously running out of ideas to distract the Stoke man, and Clark steadied himself once more. Preston 0, Stoke City 1. But within 2 minutes, Preston had a penalty of their own after Handyside was penalised for his tackle on Cresswell. Fortunately, Alexander wasn't as accurate as Clark. But the relief was short-lived as Staniuk conceded a free kick and Edwards' delivery found Healy on the near post. Preston 1, Stoke City 1. Preston increased their lead as Stoke failed to clear, and Thomas, on his return to the team, saw his clearance charge down for Healy to claim his second. Commons appeared unlucky not to get another penalty decision, but Preston pushed forward and hit the bar twice in 4 minutes. Fuller was first, and Luchetti was second in exposing Stoke's aerial weakness. In the second half, Fuller did reach the target by employing direct action. Preston 3, Stoke City 1. Yet another penalty decision. This time for handball, gave Stoke the chance to close the gap. Atuhu had the rush of blood. After a 2-minute delay for Rankin's head injury, Clark once again took the responsibility. Preston 3, Stoke City 2. The Potters battled bravely, but it appeared to be in vain until Andy Cook levelled it up at 3-3 with a superb header in the 92nd minute. So a well-earned point for Stoke. Well, you would have thought so. But with Delilah echoing around the stadium, the game threw up a final twist in the 94th minute, seconds before the final whistle. Cresswell broke the offside trap and the Potters' hearts. Preston 4, Stoke City 3. Stoke needed to cook up something for the visit of second place Norwich after the Preston result, and although they controlled most of the play, it was the visitors who drew first blood 2 minutes into the second half. McVeigh's pass allowing Drury to punish Stoke. The Potters needed inspiration, and it came courtesy of the man who'd instantly impressed from his league debut 4 games earlier. Chris Commons turned his man and ran onto the return pass from Goodfellow to make it 1 each after 74 minutes. His reward included getting throttled by Cookie, but this was surely the first of many glorious moments. The Boothen end left happy, and manager Cotterill was quite content as well. Steve, another hard game for you, but you must be very pleased with the outcome.
Yeah, I am. I think that they're showing progression every time they play. It won't always be the case, but been absolutely delighted with them since I've been here. I think they've given everything and more. We've come out of today's game with a point and nothing from the other day, and I think that we've deserved 4 points out of these two games. But you don't always get what you deserve, but as long as you carry on doing what you feel is always the right things, then hopefully we'll get our rewards in the long run.
And what a good equaliser when it came from Chris Commons.
Yeah, I'm fed up with talking good about Chris Commons, so we'll he keeps reading it, and then I have to keep bringing him back down to earth. So let's just say that Chris Commons scored a great goal, but was part of 11 players who give their all for Stoke again today.
Well, that was another point I was going to say. Yes, he might have scored a good goal, but it was an all-round team performance, wasn't it?
Oh, very much so. I love that when that happens as well.
And it must be a yardstick for you. I mean, Preston, difficult to weigh it deep down, and to come up against a side second in the table today, Norwich, missed the Premiership by a whisker. To play so well against them, that must give you a great deal of pleasure.
Yeah, I think that we have got better as the season's gone on. The lads have obviously started to get to know what I want as well. Time is very important. But without them, you know, we wouldn't be able to go forward, and we have gone forward, and it's down to them that we've gone forward. You know, if we go to Derby and get a result, then it makes it that much better at the end of the day.
Well, you seem to be enjoying yourself at the moment.
I am. I'm enjoying it very much. No, in fact, I'm loving it here.
A fine display from Cutler, and Stoke had seemingly done enough to claim a point in the testing away game to Derby. But 2 goals in the final 10 minutes meant they left empty-handed.
Lee. Christie. Ball in for Lee. Rob Lee for Derby, and a lovely save from Cutler. Oh, and then Christie's gone for the spectacular and smacked it against the upright. A brief flash there of what may be in the time that remains. Lee's getting more involved now. Now he's found King Clancy. Oh yes, Malcolm Christie. Oh yes, oh no! Picks out Lee. 81 minutes on the scoreboard. Bertie. Oh yes, Christie now! 1-0! Does the goal stand? It does! Well, at last Derby opened up the defence. It was Malcolm Christie that did it. Boulder. King Clancy. Derby playing with a relaxed air. Strupar's making a run. But Christie's made an even better one. Can he finish? 2-0. Thank you very much.
The first month's endeavours saw Stoke in 19th place, with Portsmouth holding the top spot with 16 points. Stoke made steady progress in September with 2 league wins, 2 draws and 1 defeat. But there was an early exit from the Worthington Cup. 3rd Division Bury were responsible for dumping the Potters out of the Worthington Cup in the first round, but at least it was only in front of 2,500 supporters. Stoke opened the scoring in the 74th minute at Burnley, But yet again, aerial weakness and late goals sank the Potters.
Somehow it manages to fall to Stoke City. Down James O'Connor now for Stoke, who's down the middle. Left-hand side. And Gerson. Oh, a goal! And there it is. Good Johnson scores it after Van Derzen's cross on the left-hand side. Stoke have the lead at Turf Moor. He said one goal may sort it out, and I hope it's not right, Terry. Alan Moore again takes it, bends it, and a goal! Arthur Nohiri! Papadopoulos up there again. John Rose. John Rose it is. It's a little good play. West peeling away the right-hand side, but where? Little's in it!
Brighton were promoted with Stoke last season, and they were destined to be running partners for this campaign as well, but at the opposite end of the table. When Gudjonson's cross was handled in the 17th minute, on-loan striker Tommy Mooney, who'd been sent off on his debut at Burnley, had a chance to redeem himself. Brighton 0, Stoke City 1. The Brighton defence got in a tangle and Cook made it 2 for Stoke after 75 minutes. A Stoke lead and the closing stages of the game. It was time to worry, and worry we did, as Carpenter's 30-yard shot hit the target. Brighton 1, Stoke City 2. As Cutler debated who should have the ball, were we heading for more heartache? Well, in this fixture last season, Brighton's winner in extra time left Stoke keeper Gavin Ward furious with the referee. And this time, Staniuk would test the official in the 94th minute. No penalty, and it was the Seagulls doing the remonstrating this time, while the Potters recorded their first away win of the season and condemned Brighton to their 7th straight defeat. After defeating the freshly promoted, Stoke took on the newly relegated when Ipswich came to town. But firstly, we welcomed the latest arrival at the Britannia, Pottermouth. Quite what Pottermouth would make of this was anybody's guess, but it looks certain to broaden his horizons. Ipswich were being tipped as title favourites, but nobody had told the Stoke boys, and a floaty Gudjonson free kick was met in trademark style by Staniuk in the 17th minute. Stoke City 1, Ipswich 0. Not a bad way to open your account for the season. Mascots and manager were delighted. In the second half, Ipswich made some substitutions and were getting their act together. Holland took the credit for the equaliser in the 68th minute. How would Stoke react? Very well, actually. Commons, in what was destined to be his last game of the season, replaced Van Derzen. And in the 80th minute, Gudjonsson was stretching his legs on the right flank. His cross reached Commons, whose shot-come-pass was dispatched by an ecstatic Cook. Four goals now for the industrious striker. Already half his total for last season. Stoke City 2, Ipswich 1.
My thoughts are replicated by your face, Nigel, I would imagine, with a big smile over it. Just delighted because, you know, they're a good side. They were, without a shadow of a doubt, they'll be up there. It's a big, big win for us, not just because it's Ipswich, but it's a big win for us. I think that would have taken us up to 15th place now in the table.
72 hours later, and without Gunnarsson, Stoke were entertaining another quality side. And once again, they went straight for the jugular. An almost identical first Staniuk goal after 13 minutes got them underway. Van Derzen was the free kick taker this time, although Gudjonsson had won the free kick. Stoke City 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Unfortunately, things would be very different by half-time. A corner in the 35th minute resulted in Dawson levelling it at 1-1. Then another set piece and header on the stroke of half-time allowed Johnson to give Forest a 2-1 lead going into the break. Goodfellow entered the fray in the second half, and Gudjonsson would test his mettle with another excellent cross into the area after 72 minutes. Stoke City 2, Nottingham Forest 2. A brave and well-executed equaliser, but the manager wasn't altogether happy.
You know, another night we'll play worse than that and we'll win. But no, I think the lads are terrific at the moment. I think they're working their socks off. I think they're being appreciated. And long may it continue.
With no Gunnarsson, Mooney starting a 3-match ban, Greenacre still sidelined and Commons season over, it was a welcome first start for Hoekstra and a final goal for Jurgen van Deurzen in the 1-1 draw at Reading.
Mind you of the Reading lineups, it's the same 11 that took to the field against Molineux 7 days ago. Rouget goes for goal, turning shot, and Rouget has finally broken his goal. Minsk and Dynamo Moscow are amongst the teams that he's played for. I'm sure he loves being at Stoke.
Oh, awful own goal. It's got in off the back of Ade Williams. The shot was not on target. The keeper, Harniman, had it absolutely covered.
8 points from a possible 15 saw Stoke rise to 14th place, with Brighton taking bottom spot with 4 points. We're used to tales of the unexpected at Stoke, but even Roald Dahl would struggle to script the upcoming events. A dramatic turn of fortune would mean a long wait for the next Stoke victory. October's endeavours would yield a solitary point. That point was earned when Crystal Palace visited the Britannia, but there was little action until the second half. A Thomas throw was the catalyst for Palace's opener, as Friedman's forward pass was latched onto by Adebola, with Handyside and Staniuk in hot pursuit. 77 minutes gone, 1-0 to Palace. Another Thomas throw 5 minutes before time saw Stoke on the charge this time. Last season's top scorer had claimed his opener. Hoekstra, Thomas and 72nd minute substitutes Goodfellow and Iwalumo combined perfectly. Stoke City 1, Crystal Palace 1. Big Chris was full of confidence.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I think with all the teams, Stoke have helped their own. And today, if you were I'd say just looking at the match, you would say Stoke were the better team first and second half, even though I thought that both teams were pretty poor the first half, you know what I mean? But the boys picked it up. And Chris, Stoke, they hold their own. As I say, we're a big team, and the boys have proved that they can play at this level, so we'll just hope that many weeks to come it stays the same.
And now you've got a couple of weeks off, and that's a pity in many ways, isn't it? You want the momentum to keep going.
Yeah, we do. That's 5 unbeaten now, and if someone would have said that to us 5 games ago, that it would be 5 games unbeaten, and play as well as we have done, certainly in our home games, and have 2 weeks off, we'd have settled for it. So, you know, the boys and myself and the staff have got some time off this week, and nice to have a bit of time off and reflect and come back with a renewed freshness.
So the future's bright. The future's Cotterill. Well, no, actually, as we woke on the 10th of October to the news that after 13 games in charge, an offer to be Howard Wilkinson's assistant at Sunderland was too good an offer for Steve Cotterill to turn down.